After receiving numerous complaints about Diamondback Scout being equal to lobotomized hipster Cobra. No, seriously, anyone with at least somewhat functioning brain could see why Scout sucked as much as the industrial-grade hooker. I mean, vacuum. Lakon decided to listen and actually improve based on critique, unlike the Lacy. See, the Lacy, this is how you make an improved ship. Anyways, coming at the price of 1.8 mil, Diamondback Explorer is almost 4 times as expensive as Scout. Now the big question is, where and how was the 1.3 extra mil spent? It better include a chocolate injector for pilot seat, otherwise what did I sell my kidney for? Now the best part is, they say the Diamondbacks are something like an entry-level ASP ships for Lakon. So that makes you wonder, what other organs do you have to sell to get those? Anyway, starting with the looks, I gotta say, yeah, both Diamondbacks are really nice looking ships, but if I had to pick a winner, it would be Scout. And speaking of which, there's not much I can say about outside, really, that I haven't said about Scout, so let's just move on to the cockpit. Right, well at this point I shouldn't be surprised. It seems that ship manufacturers just love that copy pasta when it comes to interior, so much so that I think that that's all they eat on daily basis. Who knows, maybe those engines are just clones, intent on cloning everything. Cockpit's another glass house that's easy to shoot out, so I hope you love choking. Actually, I know for a fact that these ships are favorite amongst autoerotic masturbators, so yeah. And here's another thing constantly bothering me. Can't you afford a bucket of paint to touch up those dashboards at all? Seriously, you're cheaper than me. And really the only thing that changed was interior lights. Well, okay, enough about the predictable stuff. Let's see what that extra mil had bought me. Lakon decided that the best course of action is to do what people do with turkeys on Thanksgiving. Cram so much stuff in the poor thing's ass, it became the most heavy small ship. At this point, Explorer has so many extra things shoved up his ass. It surprises me how it can hold it all. Honestly, it's on par with some porn star abilities, but that means that speed and maneuverability suffers. Not quite as much as in the case of Cobra 4, but don't expect to outrun most other small ships. Still, in that extra weight, Lakon crammed in an upgraded power distributor and FSD. And say what you will, but for combat and exploring, this is how you make an upgrade. Man, I wish I could take the lazy engineers and force them to watch how Lakon does an upgrade. Oh, and coming from Scout, they took out one size 3 compartment and replaced it with 2 size 4s for Explorer. Another good upgrade, but as many have pointed it out, with maximum fuel scoop, it'll take some time to fill the fuel tank. And you know, it'd be awesome if we could engineer fuel scooping rates. But I guess that's for future. And speaking of fuel tanks, after some testing I realized that you could do about 11 longest range jumps with this ship, and frankly that's a lot, especially compared to Anaconda's 4. In general, the built-in fuel tank, FSD, and pretty much everything else the ship has is awesome for exploration. Oh, but there's combat aspect to judge here too. As hard as it is to believe that an Explorer could do any combat, Lakon claims it could. Now coming from Scout, Lakon took out those 2 small hardpoints and replaced it with 1 large one, making potential damage higher than Vulture's. After all, 2 medium ports are capable of dealing more damage than 1 large one. But even with that upgraded power distributor, you'll drain it as fast as medieval doctor exsanguinates his patients. Big problem combat-wise with the ship is shield HP. See, Viper 3 has slightly stronger shields, and though Diamondback Explorer has the most hull HP of all small ships, a hull tank this is not. So I'm not sure why Lakon made it so hard. I mean, come on guys, ease up on Viagra there. But anyways, just like Scout, both of these ships are very cool, so stealth fighter is possible, but yeah, there's always some but to be examined, and stealth in this game is tedious and cumbersome to be even done properly. It frankly doesn't help that you still have the same power plant from Scout, which means that even though you have more space to put your more powerful toys in, you don't have power to cover it all. Even with engineering, it would be a struggle, so I guess Horizon's players are slightly better off with this ship, but I guess I didn't mention the jump range, and if this says anything, it's the 4th longest in the game. As a support ship for explorers, this is almost perfect, and that's great. The bottom line for the ship is simple, somewhat lacking, but a wonderful example of how an upgrade is made. And so, in a phrase, I guess it'd be an overpriced upgrade. Oh, and as I wrote this script, 2.3 version was in beta. In there, Diamondback Explorer actually became a little bit lighter and gained 1 size 2 compartment, making it even better. In fact, now it'll take the 2nd longest jump range spot, so, you know, you can start really exploring in this thing, as if you couldn't do that before.